Hello, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Mateo Chavez Lewis, and welcome to Music Theater Theory. Whoa! So, today we are going to be reacting to a video of Patina Miller singing Stay With Me from Into the Woods. She's playing the witch on Broadway right now, and she's going to continue playing the witch on Broadway until September 4th, at which point she's going to share the role, I believe, with Montego Glover, who I think I'm pronouncing that name correctly, Montego. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. I did recently an analysis of Moments in the Woods from Into the Woods. You can check that out up here. I love Into the Woods. It's one of Sondheim's greatest masterpieces, and I can't wait to see what Patina does with the role. So here is a video from when she performed Stay With Me at the Hollywood Bowl in 2019. So it's a different production. It's not the exact same performance, but we can get an idea of kind of what Patina's choices are by checking this out. So here we go. Ready?
I was not company enough. I am no longer a child. I wish to see the world. Don't you know what's out there in the world? Someone has to shield you from the world.
So she's vocally doing something interesting here where she's really pushing into this oops, sorry, I'm gonna turn that off. She's really pushing into the rhythm of the piano part. Like the piano goes, it has this like kind of back and forth section in the piano accompaniment, and Patina is really digging into that vocally. And don't you know what's out there in the world? Like she's really opening up the vowels on the accented beats and then closing them a little bit more on the non-accented beats. So it kind of creates this really this pulsing feeling, this feeling of it's almost like a wave, which is very interesting and feels kind of magical. So it feels well suited to the character of the witch, I think. Listen to how small that sound is too. Like we all know, I mean, anyone who's seen her do some of her stuff from The Leading Player from Pippin, like we all know Patina's got pipes, right? But she's choosing here to go really, really small. Stay, whatever the note is. Stay with me. Like teeny, teeny, tiny. Like letting so little sound escape. It creates a very tender moment. And she can do that because she has an opportunity to, you know, pull the lid off and explode all over the place in a moment. So there she changed the rhythm a little bit. Did you hear? Instead of going, princes wait there in the world, it's true. She took that pause, princes wait there in the world, it's true. She added a little pause to it, and the it's true was a little bit off the beat, wasn't exactly in time, which kind of accents that thought process more than if you just sing exactly what's on the page. So a lot of like music teachers will tell you to sing exactly what's on the page all the time. And I talked about this when I did my reaction to Patti LuPone's Ladies Who Lunch. Teachers will often tell you to sing exactly what's on the page all the time, especially with a writer like Sondheim, who writes so many details into his sheet music. They'll tell you to sing exactly what's on the page 100% of the time. I don't necessarily agree that that's always the best. What's on the page might be what's best for the original performer, but if you take it and make it your own a little bit and add those little pauses and communicate the message of the song, I think that's always better than just being a rhythm perfect robot, in my opinion. And Patina Miller, I mean, she's won Tonys, one Tony, 2 Tonys. She's very, very good at what she does. And so I think if your music teacher is saying sing exactly what's on the page, you should show them this video of Patina Miller. I love that little crack on humans too. So this is really interesting. So did you hear how she changed the vowel there? It started off, stay at home, right? Very tall and a little bit of head voice, very light. Stay at home, I am home. And then, who out there? Totally switched it. Instead of being very vertical and back and almost operatic, it switches to being very nasal and forward and sneering. And that is a vocal choice that accentuates the character shift here. It goes from what she's saying is, stay with me, I love you. And then here in this moment where the music switches, she's now singing higher. She's now singing B flat, C, B flat, which is a little bit higher than she was singing before. The music is louder, the melody changes. It's kind of this like bridge section, which provides contrast to the pieces of song we've heard so far. And in that moment where the music changes and the character's intention changes to going from, instead of going, stay with me, I'm so nice and I'm so tender and you will be so safe with me, she goes, well, what's out there for you? You know, it becomes a different tactic that she's using to get what she wants, which is to get Rapunzel to stay. And when the tactic changes that she's using, and when the music changes and the character moment changes, so does Patina's whole vocal production go from oh to ah, who out there, oh. It's huge, the difference.
Love you more than I. Oh, out there that I cannot supply.
And she's letting a lot of, it's interesting because this is kind of a big moment for the witch to like really bellow, but Patina's got a very high voice. Like we've all heard Patina belt into the stratosphere. And so even though this is a C, which is kind of a huge note for the witch, it's not that huge of a note for Patina. And so Patina's kind of putting a lot of gusto behind it to make it sound bigger than it is, even though it's not actually that high in her range, given how high we know she can go. So one of the things she's doing is like putting these gusts of wind behind it, that I cannot that those gusts of air is almost like excess air because it's so easy for her to sing these notes that are supposed to be these huge notes, but Patina Miller is such a goddess that it's so easy for her. She's got extra air to let fly. And so it kind of accents the consonants. It makes it very emotional and vulnerable because she's constantly like cracking into these notes with these gusts of air. And the big one is I think it was what out there. She has like an H before, which kind of gets the vibrato going, gets the breath moving. It's a really good way to lock into your breath support as a singer if you add a little H before. And it can also be used for emotional effect. I like that Patina Miller doesn't really overuse it, and she also doesn't cry into the note. So what she could have done is, what out there, where she flips into that high register right before, what, do you hear that? Instead she just goes, what, which gets the breath moving, but it doesn't make that cry sound, and she doesn't overuse it, she doesn't do it too often. So I think that's kind of where Patina differs for me from someone like Leah Michelle, who cries into every one of her notes. If you want to see a video about Leah Michelle, you can click up here. There she cried off the note, though. That was interesting. That I cannot supply. That was interesting. That made it feel very emotional. I like that. I love this costume. And there again, the pause. This, instead of the world is dark and wild, we got the world is dark and wild. Oh. 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 What a beautiful ending there. Like, it was so small and again, like the beginning, The stay with me, when it was so small. Now it's even breathier and almost like a little bit husky and smoky, like she's exhausted, she's broken down. Instead of being a really focused sound, it's still very small, but instead of being with me, it's now got a lot more breath behind it. Do you hear that kind of almost a wheeze, which is just like really vulnerable and heartbreaking? And we know it's a choice, right? We know that it's not Patina Miller not being able to produce the sound in a more focused way. We know that she can do that. She's Patina frickin' Miller. She's a superstar. So she's making this choice to go really airy, smoky, and husky. And I think that's a really like heart-wrenching and effective choice to end the song on. There you go. Nice short video for today. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe, and you can click here to watch all of my music theory videos. I'll see you next week. This has been Music